Well, the devastating economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic is not letting up. But now the Gauteng government has started a rebuilding fund to help deal with the losses. The fund will also aid businesses impacted by July's violent looting spree in some parts of the province. Gauteng Tourism Authority has praised the move, saying this will help many struggling small businesses in the informal sector. Barba Gaoganediwe joins us now. He's the organization's acting CEO and joins us from Johannesburg. Baba, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. So, of course, you must be happy about this because there are many tourism sector businesses that have been affected by the lockdowns.
Good evening, Shahan, and your wonderful viewers. We are quite excited, elated by this announcement and moved by the provincial government, supported by the IDC partner. Correctly so, the tourism sector has been one of the most hit, mainly due to the pandemic and now the recent lootings. We have seen unprecedented low levels of no revenues at all, job losses, revenues plummeting to the lowest. Majority of our establishments, especially those in our townships, in our tourism hubs, have shut down. And this relief rebuilding fund comes at an opportune moment when the country has been given an opportunity to reset. And the tourism sector, like in many economies, drives rebuilding efforts. It drives the recovery of the economy. It's made up of a number of sectors, whether it's transportation, whether it's aviation, whether it's small businesses in the finance sector, tour operators. The tourism sector connects with all these other sectors, and the recent lootings have not done justice to this aspect, not only in physical damages, but a huge blow to the reputation of the country and our brand.
Yeah. So, Baba, just for context, do you have any estimate as to how many small businesses in the tourism sector in Gauteng have had to shut down because of what they've experienced in the past year?
Absolutely. Overall, we are estimating about 3 billion worth of damage and loss due to the recent lootings. When you add the COVID-19 pandemic, which has literally shut down the operations, these numbers goes up. A number of our hotels, a number of our museums, and a number of our small holdings, whether it's restaurants, have closed down in this province, mainly due to the impact, the huge impact of COVID-19. These are found, like I've said, in our tourism hubs, in our key establishments in Maboneng, in mainland. They are found in our townships in Mamelodi, in Katlehong, in Sebokeng. And this relief fund will definitely make sure that confidence is restored to these enterprises to start business again, because any growing economy needs to be anchored on the power of its small businesses to create much needed jobs that are sustainable, that are able to increase their livelihoods.
Yeah. So small businesses that have been affected, how do you go about actually trying to get some of this money? Because I see it does cover the rebuilding costs, repairs, replacement of infrastructure, etc., especially those affected by the looting last month.
Absolutely. The Gauteng Enterprise Propeller, which is our sister agency and a small business funding development machinery in the province, which has been working very hard to bring in partners. With this fund, we have demonstrated that not only government, but entities on their own can join hands with government. So small businesses can apply up to R1 million, which is a blended financing mechanism led by our JEP, the Gauteng Enterprise Propeller, which 50% of it is loan and the other 50% is grant funding. This is groundbreaking, as you are aware, that majority of these businesses are unable to meet the strict demands of commercial banks when they are to apply for loans. Again, one other aspect that sets this fund apart is the fact that we are also accommodating informal businesses. Abo Mama who used to be selling fat cakes out there who used to be at Vilakazi Street, providing for their families through increased visitor numbers at the sites, will now be able to apply up to 50,000 rand. And this is groundbreaking because they are not the banked. They are, they are the ones who can be accommodated by the big financial institutions and other development fund institutions. As a proactive, caring government, we have made sure that we are able to accommodate this important aspect of the informal sector. So this funding will enhance the efforts to formalize them. But we will not just be providing the 50,000, they will also be enrolled through our business incubation, formalizing, registering them so that we are able to bridge the gap between the informal economy and those that are finalized. This will be directed to the businesses that have not been able to be covered by the SASRIA insurance, as you are aware, Shahan, that SASRIA has been. And these are also businesses that have not received grants or funding from any other state institutions, to avoid double dipping and to make sure that these funds cover as many people as possible. 100 million rand is not enough. And we want to take this opportunity to urge also our established tourism businesses in their formations to also take advantage of this opportunity, join hands, and let's double up this fund to make sure that we can rebuild together and achieve the vision of using the pandemic as an opportunity to reset and use tourism as a stimulator for job creation and rebuilding efforts.
This is very important, especially those people who are in the informal sector getting assistance, right? So you mentioned double dipping, and I just need you to elaborate on that for me, because you will get some people who have tried to get money from other government assistance programs also trying to get money from this fund. That's not going to be allowed, you say?
If you have tried and you have not been successful, you are able to apply. But if you have applied and you haven't been funded, give others a chance. And this facility is therefore, one, structured in a manner that enhances transformation and bring other new players on board. Like I've said, the informal, those that are unbanked. But those that have been able to get funding from other state institutions that have been able to claim their losses as a result of the looting unrest from SASRIA and their insurances, unfortunately, they are disqualified from this. This will be those that have not been able to be helped as part of the efforts to broaden the institutions and the mechanisms to help small businesses that have been affected by this. Primarily also those that have been affected by COVID. You are aware that in the tourism sector last year, we rolled out 100 million rand worth of relief fund for quite a variety of sectors. Ourselves at the Gauteng Tourism Authority, we've been working with our tourism associations across our 5 regions to help them apply, to help these businesses apply, make sure that they have all the necessary documents. We'll be doing that again this time around, making sure that we help them to comply with JEP requirements. But it's important for those that have been helped to also give others a chance. 100 million, like I've said, will never be enough. We're appealing to the other partners out there to join hands. The systems is watertight. Proper accounting mechanisms will be employed, and this is done in partnership with the IDC, and we hope this mechanism will set the tone for others to join in as we rebuild our country.
Yeah, we've heard that before, though. Watertight, make sure that people who deserve the money get it. But the reality is it's always open to corruption and funds are looted by officials. What is in place to make sure that does not happen with this 100 million rand?
Like I've said, we have partnered with a formidable institution, the developed IDC, and through the mechanism we have set in place together with the JEP steering committee that every week goes through a vigorous process of identifying those that have qualified, liaising with them, conducting site visits to actually see that there was a business here, it has been gathered by fire or the unrest. They will have to provide financial statements to demonstrate that their business are able to functions if they are funded and they are able to repay the loan part of this fund. That's part of the mechanisms in place. It's unfortunate that while we are trying our best to mobilize resources to rebuild, repurpose, and reset our economy, unscrupulous elements continue to take advantage of these systems. We denounce that with the strongest terms it deserves.
All right. Keep an eye on it, okay? I don't want to be talking to you about any corruption regarding this fund at a later stage. I appreciate your time.